talk on cause and effect, and he's a sophomore at JHS, so I'm very excited to hear his talk and all his hard work.
By the end of the 1920s, almost all of the wolves in Yellowstone National Park were dead. By the mid-1900s, wolves had almost entirely been eliminated from the United States. This is because wolves were viewed as a predator species and a danger to livestock and other prey animals. So, instead of protecting them like the United States government did with all other animals, it was sanctioned to start killing the gray wolf. When the gray wolf disappeared, you could see major chain reactions throughout the ecosystem. The first thing is that the main prey of the gray wolf were elk. Elk population skyrocketed, and they started grazing away all of the vegetation in Yellowstone National Park. What this caused is a lot of erosion, because there were no longer the same amount of roots to hold down the dirt that you originally had. So as you can see, the far right side is almost completely bare of vegetation, and it would start crumbling down to the river. The rivers started running wild, and as a result, the fish population decreased because they no longer had a place to live. The birds also started dying off because they no longer had the same food that they usually had. They didn't have the same fish, they didn't have the same berries. This is a clear example of cause and effect. Cause and effect is the principle that when there is an action, there is also going to be a reaction or an effect. Cause and effect is also very dangerous because when people don't realize what happens, major effects can take place. So, in the case of Yellowstone National Park, the entire face of the park had changed. When it comes to wolves, we were lucky. The United States happened to be the only country that decided to start killing wolves. Other animals, like whales, were not so lucky. Whaling was a practice that was used worldwide for a very long time, for whale meat and whale oil. As many people know, it went out of fashion when people discovered stronger sources of fuel and better sources of food. So the whale population survived by sheer luck. Unfortunately, some countries continue to whale today. Some countries like Japan have decided that since the whales eat krill and plankton, if we kill off the whales, the plankton will be able to be eaten by fish. Since fishing is a major industry in many countries, fishing, if there's more food, the fish population should increase. The problem is the opposite actually happened. Despite Japan thinking and making excuses to the rest of the world that the fish population would increase, the fish population decreased once they continued killing off whales. Well, kind of disgusting. The reason for this is whale poop. Marine biologists prefer to call them fecal plumes to make it seem less crude. But what this did was act as a fertilizer for the photosynthesizing plankton, or phytoplankton, of the ocean. Since they were the bottom of the food chain, they no longer had the same resources, and everything cascaded from there. What people didn't realize is that when the phytoplankton died, or that the phytoplankton started dying, and then all of the other plankton and all of the other fish started dying, and the entire ocean was almost entirely depleted of wildlife in the areas that the Japanese were whaling. What people realize now is that cause and effect can have severe implications. Cause and effect is, in essence, cause and effect can be reversed. Cause and effect, in the case to ecology, when you add back the whales, it can, in this case, when you add back whales, the phytoplankton can continue to live, which will bring back the population of everyone else. So, what we did is in Yellowstone National Park in around 1995, we started reintroducing the wolves to Yellowstone National Park. Yellowstone National Park has rebounded since then. Since we took the gray wolf out of Canada and reintroduced them to Yellowstone National Park, the vegetation has increased, the elk population brought back under control, and all of the other species that were affected have been brought back to the normal the normal situations that they were under earlier in the 20th century. Sorry. As you can see, this is this photo of the same location that I showed earlier, and the right side is covered in trees and grass and shrubs again. The river flows a lot healthier from here on out. It stops diverting along Yellowstone National Park, and the fish can start living there again. What this shows is that while this talk has been slightly depressing about the mass killing of animals, that there's always a hope to fix it. What I want people to take out of this is not as much that the world is going to end, but that if we realize what we've done wrong, we can actually fix our problems and make this world a better place. Thank you.